We're going to take a look at a Chinese ration. This is a Chinese People's Liberation Army, or PLA, Type 9 ration. It's an individual soldier self-heating meal. And this is menu number 3, chicken fried rice. As we said, it's an individual meal, so basically it's roughly in line with US MRE. It actually appears similar to US MRE in that it's in a pouch, rectangular shape. When we compare the two, we can see that it is a little bit smaller. You're going to get less in this one, but it is going to provide you one meal. And that meal, I believe, is going to be roughly between 1,000 and 1,100 calories. Taking a look at the bag, we have the information we already went over on the front, and also has some manufacturer's information here. Also, we have a manufacturing date printed on here. This is manufactured on September 15th, 2017. And these are rated to last for 3 years, so this should be in date and it should be just fine. And I did mention that there's somewhat less in here than you'd find in a US MRE, which also means it's a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go ahead and actually weigh this and see exactly how much it does weigh. It comes in at 1 pound 4.9 ounces, or 592 grams. So that's the front of the bag. In the back we have a lot more information. And here's a lot of information here that isn't really of much use if you can't read Chinese writing. This right here is the component list. It gives the components and the size of the pouches. And so in this one, it looks like we're going to be getting chicken fried rice, storable cake or shelf-stable cake, beef sausage, fruit and vegetable, spicy sauce, and instant solid beverage, or a beverage powder. Here's the nutritional information. It's nice that they give you that. And it does have here that it's rated to last for 36 months or 3 years. And one final thing I'd like to mention about the bag before we open this up and check out what's inside is that all different countries have different regulations and different ideas of what they want their rations to do. A lot of countries place a higher emphasis on taste than shelf-stableness. So the MRE, one of the most important traits is how shelf-stable it is. They're rated to last about 3 to 5 years, but as we've seen, they can last a lot longer, 20, 30 years even. But they're only designed to last for 3 to 5 years. And a big part of that is due to the retort pouches inside. But in addition, it has a really tough bag, a really tough outer bag, which is sealed very well. Sometimes you'll even see these vacuum sealed. They don't need to be, and it's not all that common, but you will see them vacuum sealed sometimes. So this is obviously sealed so it's airtight and watertight. And that can only help to add to the shelf-stable aspect of it. This Chinese Type 9, it actually has like I said, it's pretty similar look. It's a pretty tough bag. It seems like it would actually provide some decent protection. But apparently they don't place any emphasis on this for increasing the shelf life or even protecting it from the environment. Because as you can see right here, it actually has a hole going right through it. A hole in the front and the back. So obviously air is going to be able to get in here. Any kind of little bugs, dust, anything like that is going to be able to get in. And if this was in water, despite being a nice tough plastic, it would not provide any protection from water. Water would go right in there. But the only other thing to say about this before we go in is that it does not have a peelable seal, but like most retort pouches, it actually does have tear notches on the long side. So let's go ahead and see what's inside of this one. And at the bat we have the entree, and this is actually really nice. I forgot to mention when we were looking at the outside, one of the great things about the Chinese rations is that they have excellent flameless ration heaters. Very effective. And one of the nice things about it is that it comes ready to use, basically. It comes in this insulated sleeve, and you have the ration heater right here. It has similar heating elements to US MRE flameless ration heaters, but there's 2 of them instead of 1. And they're one on either side of the ration, which is inside of the flameless ration heater bag. So basically you tear the top off the bag, and you're going to use this little bag right here to put the exact amount of water in. Measure it right out into that. Pour it right in here. Of course it's going to be in the sleeve. Fold the top over, and you give it 10-15 minutes to heat up. So looking at this, I've noticed that there is some kind of leakage. There's a little bit of greasiness on the bag here, and where it was inside of the insulating bag, it looks like there's some kind of food residue on here. I mean, obviously that's coming from something, but I'm hoping it's not that the retort pouch was compromised, because that would certainly be a problem, even though it is only a year old. So let's see what happens with this. But that's going to be kind of fun to use that. Make sure there isn't any more. Oh, you know what? Here it is on this accessory pack. You can see there's more of that sort of orange, oily residue. Let me see if it's coming from one of these. No, I really can't tell where it's coming from. It must be coming from the main. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the spicy sauce, and this has a lot of residue on it. Okay, I looked into things a little bit further, and this is a big disappointment, but in a way it's probably about the best outcome we could have from this. I cleaned up the spice sauce pack, and when you squeeze it, it does indeed have a little bit of a hole in there. It's tiny, but it's there. So I can smell the sauce now, and it smells pretty good. It smells like it's kind of like the sauce you get with like mushi when you go to a Chinese restaurant. Definitely some soy sauce in there. It doesn't smell bad, so I'm hopefully going to at least be able to use a little bit on the entree. We'll see though. So, okay, so we have the entree, the chicken fried rice, and we also have the spicy sauce in its compromised pouch. We have the accessory pack, which I'll go ahead and open so I can get rid of this oily bag here. And this just has a small napkin and a spoon with a flat end here. I guess you can kind of use that as a knife edge. Okay, and here is the instant solid beverage. Doesn't seem to indicate what flavor it is, but basically it's going to be a multivitamin kind of thing. And 10 grams of that. And we also have the storage resistant cake, or shelf stable cake. I'm guessing something like some sort of a pound cake. I'm not sure of the flavor on that either. And this is the meat sausage. Ingredients indicate that it has beef in it, what they call nutritious beef. And the fruit vegetable is a fruit. Apparently it's sliced peaches in the 55-gram pouch right here. And then we also have this is kind of ingenious, the little bag that you use to fill to the line with water. It even has a little window in there, and that gives you the perfect amount of water for your flameless ration heater. So we'll get this all set up, and we'll go ahead and heat up the entree and check everything else out. Alright, and here's our ingenious little flameless ration heater set up. Hopefully this is going to work fine. Obviously you don't have to take this out, but just one last time to show you again. We have what looks like a pretty standard flameless ration heater, a little bit larger than the US one. And this flameless ration heater bag actually includes the entree right inside of it, so you don't even have to mess with that. And of course it's also in this little insulating sleeve, which is great. To the top over here. Get a better view in there how the heating elements are sandwiched around the entree. Actually, well, we'll take a look at the entree when it comes out. And then we have the little bag for the water. Let's see if I can fill it up without making a mess. That looks good. I'll try and pour this looks like it's on both sides of the heater. Good amount of water in there. I'm going to fill over the top. Actually, I'm going to kind of shake it around a little bit, try and make sure the water gets into all the heating elements on both sides. And you can already hear it starting up. So it just says to lie it flat and fold the top over, but to make sure the top stays folded over, I'm going to just stuff it inside of the pouch here a little bit. And I had been thinking of heating up the sausage in here too, but of course it is all self-contained, so I'm just going to have this warmed up. It seems like it couldn't hurt to have it warm. I'm just going to throw this inside the sleeve on the outside of the pouch. And we'll give that 10-15 minutes to heat up. And you can see that's really doing good. It's puffing up. There's some steam coming out of there. And it's very hot, so I just want to make sure that the heating elements on the other side get enough water too. And I'm actually going to put that on the outer bag just so it doesn't steam up the table too much. Yeah, that's working quite nicely, and I don't think it's going to have any problem heating up the sausage a little bit too. Alright, while the heater does its thing, we have a few more things to check out. Let's check out the shelf-stable cake. That smells pretty good. It smells like a US MRE pound cake. It's very glossy, very shiny, and greasy. I don't know if it's just like a sweet kind of coating or something, but it smells good. Doesn't look like too much, but it smells good. Kind of like a vanilla pound cake, I guess. And here is what I believe is peaches. Yep. That's what it looks and smells like. It's not a huge serving by any means. Looks like one, two, it's like a couple slices of peaches. This one's pretty thick right here, but a couple of slices of peaches and a cling sauce. And we'll go ahead and make up the beverage. It doesn't say on here, or at least I can't find on here anywhere, that says how much water to add. So US MREs make 12 ounces. Some other international ones make less. So I figure I was gonna go with 8, but I figured I'd start lower and increase it as we need it, if we need it. Interesting smell. It basically smells like a chewable vitamin tablet, kind of like vitamin C. Maybe a little bit of an orange smell coming off of it. Definitely pretty artificial smelling, but like I said, I'm pretty sure this is basically just something to give you a lot of vitamins. Kind of a cloudy, I would almost say it looks like a lemon lime kind of a thing, but yeah, maybe something else in there besides the orange, but basically it smells like kind of an orange beverage. More vitamin-y than anything else. Yeah, I think the entree is about ready. I just took the meat sausage out of there, and wow, that is amazingly hot. So when I did the Type 13, it had one of these kind of little side meat things too, and I didn't heat it up. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be heated up or not, but it certainly can't hurt. It definitely smells like sausage. It smells kind of like the inside of a dumpling, like the fried dumplings you'd get at a Chinese restaurant. Very similar to that. And there's actually 3 of them. Alright, and now we'll check out our chicken fried rice. This thing is still quite hot. It's still working, but I think it's definitely done its job. And this is going to be plenty hot. Let's see, there's still a lot of steam coming out of there. And here is our chicken fried rice. Incredibly hot. Let me go wipe this off a little bit. 300 grams. Serving size. Alright, that is a great heater. Yeah, it very effectively heats up both sides. And one thing to say about it is I believe it runs on a similar principle to the US ones, but there might be something a little bit different because it does have leave this white residue on the bag, which is kind of chalky when it dries up. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but just something that's a little bit different. And it wiped most of it off while it was wet, but it's still a little bit on there. And I do know from previous experience that if I open this up and put it on the tray, it's probably going to look like a congealed, solid kind of little mass of sort of like a block of rice. So I am going to just try and make it look a little bit more appetizing. Just break it up a little bit inside the package. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but we shall see. No, it didn't really do too much. It just still looks the same. It smells pretty good. It smells like a... It's funny because they talk about the US idea of Chinese food isn't really Chinese food, and I understand that, but for the most part, everything in here smells a lot like a US Chinese food restaurant's idea of Chinese food. And there it is. It looks fine. It's a lot of food. And the smell, basically it does smell like fried rice, like a chicken fried rice, but one that has like the white rice rather than the fried rice. There's a little bit of color to this, but it's not overly seasoned with the kind of stuff you'd find in US type fried rice. Looks like we can see some carrots in here. Oh, here's some chicken. So, yeah, I definitely want to try this. It smells good, and let's check everything out while it's still hot. And of course, we do still have the spicy sauce, which the packaging is a little bit compromised, but I think it's going to be okay. And I definitely do want to see what it's like with this on it. Try it on its own first, though. Nice little congealed chunk of rice here. So we got a little bit of chicken in this bite. And that's good. The rice is it's pretty sticky. You can see by the way it's all congealed. It's a little bit on the bland side. You can kind of taste that there's sodium in there. It has some flavoring. I'll try some of this chicken. But it's not terribly flavorful overall. It's good. I'm not complaining about it. It's just, yeah. It's just something that's going to fill you up. It's going to give you a lot of nutrients, keep you moving. And in fact, I actually really like it. I like rice-based dishes, but it's just not terribly exciting. So let's try a little bit of the spicy sauce on here and see if that changes it. Kind of like adding a little bit of soy sauce, or like I said, that it smells kind of like that dark sauce that you get with mushi dishes. Hopefully this is okay. It doesn't seem to be. Yeah, that's got some kick to it. I just tried it off of the packaging. It doesn't seem to taste bad. I mean, it seems like it's basically soy sauce, something that's not really going to go very bad anyway. But let's try it with the rice and a little bit of everything in here. Yep, that gives you your flavor. It has a little bit of kick to it, but a lot of flavor. A lot of soy, salty kind of a taste, and it tastes like you're eating two different things. It's fine without it, but it's definitely better with it. There's a whole new dimension. It's good, but before I go too far with that, I'm gonna try one of these peaches here. I think we pretty much know what to expect from this, like a canned peach kind of a taste. Yep, and that's pretty much what it is. You certainly don't get a lot with this. A couple of slices of peaches and a little bit of this syrup. In this small pouch. I think if you were out in the field, it'd probably be easiest just to tear this off and just eat it right out of the pouch. It's kind of like swallow the peaches, basically. Small serving size, but it's good. Now we'll try one of these meat sausages. It almost looks like a hot dog. You look at the inside there. Interesting. Kind of has the consistency of a Vienna sausage, and it definitely has the taste of the inside of a meat dumpling that you get at a Chinese restaurant. It's that kind of a processed meat kind of a filling, and it gives you two different kind of meat tastes in this. You get the chicken and the rice, and then you get the beef in here. I think these things would also be good if they were chopped up and put in the rice. Yeah, it's very much like a Vienna sausage. It's kind of weird. And it's in its own little sauce here too. And I think this also will benefit. It has that taste of that meat filling taste of a dumpling, but still not terribly exciting. I think if we were to add a little bit, I don't want to do too much of the sauce because I'm not sure how compromised it is, but add a little bit of this sauce onto here. I think that'll improve this too. Yep, definitely. Let's have a little bit of this all together. Yeah, it's not a very exciting thing to look at, but this is really good. It's actually quite filling. It's got some good flavor to it, despite being a little bit on the bland side. It's bland, but the flavor that's there is good. Yeah, this is one I'm definitely gonna eat the whole thing. But I'm starting to think, the more I think about it, it does need the sauce. Yeah. Not put it on with too heavy of a hand, just because, as I keep saying, it was compromised. It tastes a lot like the house fried rice at a Chinese restaurant right around the corner from us that we go to all the time. I'm going to try the beverage base. That's interesting. I'm not exactly sure what to make out of that. It doesn't really taste like orange. It doesn't taste like lemon lime. Almost a little bit like pineapple. I think it may be like a Chinese kind of fruit that I'm not too familiar with. But there is some kind of a fruity taste to it, along with the obviously chewable vitamin kind of a taste, like you're having like a powdered vitamin. Nothing spectacular, but it certainly makes it a little more interesting than just plain water. And we'll try the shelf-stable cake. Got a little odd coloration here. And this is very dense. It's very dense. Not spongy at all. It's not like the US pound cake, so you can kind of squeeze. It's a solid mass. Oh, and this coating is actually almost is like a coating. It's like it has like a wax coating to it. Let's try it with everything all together though. It's interesting. I wonder if there's a difference between this and this, if this is like the sweet part or something. Yeah, the flavor's not bad. It's just kind of strange. It's just so dense. It's kind of like something like I've seen like at like dollar stores. They have these weird canned or packaged cakes that I think they're for certain holidays. And it's kind of like that. I mean, I keep eating it, so it's obviously not terrible. But it's just kind of weird that it has this like plastic coating almost. Interesting. Yeah, I think we looked at everything. This is not very extensive, but still pretty comprehensive and very tasty meal. And it was a Chinese Type 9 individual self-heating meal. Menu number 3, chicken fried rice. Thank you for watching. It was interesting. I was just going to finish this up, and as I was taking a spoonful, a peanut fell out. Apparently, peanut is one of the ingredients, which is something it's hard to know if you can't read the ingredient list. And certainly something to keep in mind for people who have any kind of food allergies, especially peanut allergies, when you're eating an international ration. If you can't read the ingredient list, that could be a problem. Thankfully, I don't have any problem with peanuts. So thank you again for watching.